See the flag blowing, blowing in the wind. I wonder where you are right now, my only friend. I've been a little lonely since I ventured out here west. I can try and lie and say I'm not a fucking mess.
He's just one of those guys that's always maturing, always getting better, always becoming more comfortable in his own skin, and his music's kind of reflects that.
And show me my best.
You know, Chris has a real interesting way of putting a lyric together. He can come up with some very memorable lyrics.
I would be okay if I could be within your reach and listen to you break into incendiary speech.
I was by myself. I was like 15 years old, like a latchkey kid living with my uncle, and went to some parties like as a 15-year-old with all these college kids, and they were turning me on to the Talking Heads and the Cars and Devo and all these new bands that were coming out, and decided I wanted to start a band. I traded my leather jacket for a guitar, a Gibson SG copy, and that was the start. I started the Bad Habits. It was kind of like a neighborhood gang. I mean, it was like all my friends, none of us were really musicians except for my lead guitar player, Marcus. And the four of us just like misfit guys from different parts of the country, and we just all came together and kind of blew up because it was predominantly like Southern rock, you know, and all the younger kids, you know, our age, were all looking for something new. So we were arguably the first punk rock band in Pensacola in 1981.
All right, let's see if you guys remember this one. We used to have these keg parties out on the beach with the red cups, and anyway, this one's called Beach Patrol. Behind the buildings, it's what's on. Bakers like hippies. The Beach Patrol, the Beach Patrol, the Beach Patrol, the Beach Patrol.
We were struggling, couldn't get a deal, and I decided to go to Los Angeles. Marcus and I cut a demo, and I was going to take that tape to Los Angeles and shop it and see if we could get a record deal, and it did not happen. So I decided to, at that point, move back to Miami.
Go where you go, you take a piece of my soul.
I had the idea at that point of a new band that I wanted to start called London Exchange. So I had the name, and I knew I wanted it to be a little bit more synth. So I recruited my brother, who was living down here. He was going to play keyboards. That was the start of that concept anyway. I was working a part-time job at Peaches Records, and I met a guy named David Hanono, and I wrote a 3-song demo, Girl Inside the Magazine, Memories of You, and another song, and let David hear those, and he thought Memories of You was a hit. We got a producer named Peter Marr, who's a big part of my music, and he came in and we produced Memories of You and released it in 1988. And by the summer of '89, it was on the radio in 27 markets around the country and a #5 hit on Power 96 in Miami. And then we did a bunch of shows with Jose Condi, who's a great friend of mine, excellent musician, and a guy named Doug Edwards, who was kind of instrumental in the beginning. And then those guys wanted to do their own thing, which happens in bands. And so I put together London Exchange 2.0, which is kind of the version that everybody knows. And it's the classic version of London Exchange to me. That was Martin Davis on bass and keyboards, and then Tim Gavin played drums. We put out Lost Without Your Touch, which was our second single. And then we put out Girl Inside the Magazine.
I can see the girl inside the magazine. She comes to me inside my dreams. I can see the girl inside the magazine. She stares at me with eyes I cannot see.
In '91, everything kind of changed when Nirvana came out. All of a sudden, like overnight, everybody wanted grunge and all those clubs dried up, all the shows dried up. And so in '91, we did our last show as London Exchange and kind of went on hiatus.
Western skies, western skies, western skies, we got me place. My memories of you.
You're living in this fantasy world, you know, for 2-3 years. I'm riding around in limousines. I didn't have a job other than playing music. After London Exchange, I'm like, what am I gonna do? And so I decided I was gonna sell stereo equipment. I was like kind of the celebrity, stereo salesman, because I wasn't so far removed from the band and having a hit song on the radio. I decided to get back together with the guys from my first band, the Bad Habits, and with the original Bob Lose producer. We recorded an album called UFO Messiah.
Say hello. Oh. Mike Marlito giving Chris shaker lessons.
I sent it overseas, and an agency over there wanted to book me as a solo act. Basically went over there with my acoustic and did 2 shows in London, which opened up a whole new world for me.
TikTok generation, mental stay vacation. Where do we go from here? I don't know. I don't know.
This whole new phenomenon had come out called social media, which hadn't existed. So from Facebook and even MySpace, I was starting to get all these inquiries about, where is London Exchange? Are you the singer of London Exchange? And I got offers to do remixes. And so from that, we got offers to start doing shows again as London Exchange, and bigger shows than when we did back in the day, because now they were doing these like 80s festivals. And we did that all the way up into when COVID hit. And then there we go. Those 2 are good. Stuck at home, nobody was going out, everybody was watching the news all week, which was depressing. And so I decided to do a live from Chris's house on Friday nights.
Don't tell me you don't know, I've got somewhere to go.
byproduct for me out of that, you know, music-wise, was that I recorded a couple of albums. And I decided in 2026 I'm going to do 2 last shows to kind of commemorate that in my career, and also to go back to Pensacola after 40 years and wrap things up in Miami. I did the Luna Star Cafe, which is kind of my home base down here.
Nothing can ever hurt you. Nothing can hurt you. Hurt you. Nothing can hurt you.
I got to do what I wanted to do on my own terms, create the music I wanted to create, and make a lot of friends and along the way, you know.
When he said he was going to be playing one of his last performances here in Miami, we made sure that we came here.
It's been a good journey, man. Doing the Miami dance scene in the late 80s and early 90s, and here we are.
How was the show, Bob?
You tell me.
I thought it was going great.
Thank you.
The show was awesome. We loved it. Wonderful.
Hey man, Bad Habits all the way.
How was the show?
Awesome.
You like being home, Chris?
I love being home, playing for my people. This was one of the best shows of my entire life.
Just another rainy day, and I'm walking toward Victoria Station in the rain. You know I've got somewhere to go. Kensington stop by 8 o'clock for the show. I can't forget about tomorrow, 'cause it won't bring back yesterday. And when I wake up in the morning and I don't see your face, I feel so far away. I feel so far away. You know I feel so far away. I'm gonna